Hey guys, I'm here to do a movie review on Francis Ford Coppola's Apocalypse Now. It's 1:41 in the morning. This movie, um, I've had it for quite a long time. I got it close to around, I think, maybe September or October. And, I had started to watch it one time. I think I got about an hour into it and I fell asleep. I obviously didn't finish it. I never really saw any, like need to watch it. And so the other night, I guess last night, I finally got around to watching it. And this is the Redux version, meaning that this movie is 49 minutes longer than the original release. And I don't know what the additional footage is because I've never seen the original theatrical version. But just to let you know, I'm reviewing the Redux version. This movie has Marlon Brando, Robert Duvall, Martin Sheen, um, Harrison Ford, and Dennis Hopper in the movie. And I believe Lee Ermey, who was, of course, the drill sergeant in Full Metal Jacket, I'm pretty sure he was a helicopter pilot in this movie. But I think I remember reading in a book that George Lucas had originally started the idea of Apocalypse Now, and Francis Ford Coppola took it and wrote it and directed it. I've seen a lot of weird war movies, like Full Metal Jacket, Saving Private Ryan, Jarhead, The Hurt Locker, Platoon. This one, it's a lot. Sometimes it doesn't even seem like a war movie. There's a lot of action in this movie. Don't get me wrong, but it's like a very mesmerizing movie. I've never seen a war movie like this before. It's so depressing at some moments and dark. The movie is about Martin Sheen's character, Captain Willard, is sent on a mission into he ends up going into Cambodia, but his mission is to find this general named Colonel Kurtz, who is played by Marlon Brando. And he needs to assassinate Colonel Kurtz because Colonel Kurtz has gone insane. He used to be this highly decorated general, but he went insane and barricaded himself in this little area in the jungle in Cambodia, and he has these followers, these Korean followers, and he kind of controls them with an iron fist, and he's totally. They say he's totally insane, but when we finally see him at the end of the movie, you kind of feel sorry for him in some moments. He seems kind of like a father figure to the children and the little people of this village he runs. But basically, it's Captain Willard goes on this journey to Cambodia to try to find Colonel Kurtz, and on the way, people die. And there's a lot of action, a lot of war, parts at some moments. The last about half hour of the movie is the part where it is just so weird and so different than anything I had ever seen. I mean, it's a really good movie. The Redux version is 3 hours and 22 minutes long, and if you have followed my channel, you know that I do not like 3-hour movies. I don't have enough time to watch them. The few 3-hour movies that I've seen, like Titanic or Barry Lyndon or Gone with the Wind, I've seen that. I kind of have to just pause it and take a mental break. I just don't really like to watch, really long movies because I keep glancing at the clock on the player, to see when this thing's going to be over. But this movie kind of got me hooked, throughout the entire thing. I was really surprised at how much I was hooked. Francis Ford Coppola, he did the Godfather trilogy. Well, he did the first two Godfather movies, and then he did this. and then the part three in 1990, and then Dracula in 1992. I mean, he did movies between 1979 and 1990. I'm pretty sure, but I can't really recall any on the top of my head. But the Godfather trilogy, this and Dracula are probably what he's going to be the most famous for. Um, Really good war movie. Again, I would compare this to Full Metal Jacket as being one of my favorite war movies. But this isn't going to be one where I'm going to watch it all the time because, again, I have to have a lot of time to watch it when Full Metal Jacket is only like an hour and 50 minutes. Um, it's mainly because of this movie that Stanley Kubrick waited so long to make Full Metal Jacket, because when this came out, it was such a sensation. He thought he could let everybody do their war movies, but then he would come out with his definitive war movie. Do I think Full Metal Jacket is the definitive war movie? It's up there. This, Apocalypse Now, this, and Platoon are pretty up there as being, really good, great war movies. If you, if you didn't like The Godfather or Godfather Part 2, I really don't think you'll like this that much. I mean, I don't really know what Francis Ford Coppola's style is. I mean, you kind of know what Alfred Hitchcock's style was, or Stanley Kubrick's, or John Carpenter, but I really think if you don't like super long movies, you're not going to like Apocalypse Now. There are some slow moments in the movie, but then again, there's a lot of action parts to cover up for those. But but this movie seems like so unreal. It's a war movie about a war that really took place, but yet it seems like this could have never happened. Like, this war could have never happened. That is how Apocalypse Now was made. This movie seems like it takes place in like a fairy land. Like some land that someone made up. It doesn't seem real at some moments. I mean, it's so creepy at moments and weird. But I really like this movie. Francis Ford Coppola, after being, wowed by the Godfather trilogy, finally got around to seeing this, and I really like this movie. Definitely one of his best movies besides The Godfather. But I highly recommend this. It's got great acting. It's got some good music. And again, I like the Redux version. I've never seen the original. Maybe I'll get around to seeing the original. But Apocalypse Now, it's a really good war movie, and I really don't think you'll ever see anything like it.